I cannot and will not recommend that most consumers prepay. AARP says the same thing. The publisher of Consumer Reports says the same thing. So this is standard advice from people who don't have an interest in selling to you.
Generally, why don't you recommend it?
Because hundreds of millions of dollars has gone missing, rated from the funds over the past few years. There's no standardization and regulation. States like New York require all your money to be held in trust for you. States like Florida, you might get back 50% if you cancel before you need it.
Do you advise people to buy plots in advance, pre-need?
Absolutely.
Why?
First off, you can generally buy them for less price than if you wait till the time of need. Two, you buy them in a good, sound state of mind.
You know, though, that the Funeral Consumers Alliance, AARP, Consumers Union all recommend against purchasing in advance.
Purchasing graves or purchasing goods and services, two different stories.
They recommend against prepaid plans because there have been a number of scams, or cemeteries have gone belly up, and if the people move to another state, then you have a problem.
I can't agree with that statement. Let's talk about just the purchasing of graves in advance. In many states, if you go on to public assistance, which many people end up having to do, if you don't already own a grave, the only disposition the state may pay is cremation, and maybe you're opposed to it, possibly for religious or whatever reasons. You're in best control if you buy that grave in advance. It's something you can do together as a family. Even Abraham in the Old Testament went out and bought graves in the 23rd chapter of Genesis in advance.
If you do feel you have to prepay, read the contract fine print carefully. Know how much you're entitled to in a refund, if anything, should you move or change your mind. Know whether or not the price is guaranteed. Know whether or not any excess after your death will be given back to your survivors. These are things that almost no consumer looks at before they sign on the dotted line. And that's where trouble comes in.